witnessing
it is 16 years of democracy. No, it is 16 years of democracy, and I'll give you particular instances. There, when President Olusegun Obasanjo took over power in May 1999, we saw a lot of euphoria. But you can't compare it with what we just had a few days ago. We saw 52 heads of states. We saw the British government saying, give us your wish list. How do you want us to partner with you? We saw the American government saying, President Buhari, tell us exactly how you want us to work to ensure that terror is dealt with and to ensure that your economy recovers. Fundamentally, there is a global hope and faith that Nigeria will turn out to rule Africa and indeed the world. There is a global, even Mugabe here said that he thinks that now Nigeria might wake up to lead Africa. I do sincerely think that there
Mugabe, you want to spoil the whole thing.
Oh no, there's nothing.
Let's just
the sentiments are different. Sentiments are different. Africa is Africa.
Because Mugabe himself has issues with.
His people will deal with it. His people will deal with it. No, his people will deal with it.
But
it is not us to deal with.
Let's go on a break, and when we come back, Superdome will continue. Please stay with us.
Muhammadu Buhari was born on December 17, 1942 in Daura, Katsina State as the 23rd child of his father. He was raised by his mother after his father died when he was about 4 years old. He attended primary school in Daura and Maidua before proceeding to Katsina Model School in 1953 and Katsina Provincial Secondary School, now Government College, Katsina, from 1956 to 1961. After secondary school education, he joined the Nigerian Military Training School in Kaduna, which set the pace for his military career in 1961. And then, from 1962 to 1963, he underwent officer cadet training at Mons Officer Cadet School in Aldershot in England. He also furthered his training at the Officers Cadet School, UK, Army Mechanical Transport School, UK, Defense Services Staff College, India, and United States Army War College. And he gradually rose from second lieutenant in 1963 to the rank of Major General. He was appointed military governor of the northeastern Nigeria by General Muritala Muhammad in 1975. From 1976 to 1978, he became the Federal Commissioner for Petroleum Resources and the chairman of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC, in 1978. After a military coup in December 1983, he became the military head of state till 1985, when he was ousted by another coup led by General Ibrahim Babangida. Within 2 years of military rule, Buhari implemented a number of measures, some of which were considered extreme by some persons, but seen by others as a praiseworthy attempt to fight the endemic graft that prevented Nigeria's development. He retains a rare reputation for honesty among Nigeria's politicians, both military and civilian, largely because of this campaign. He is also adjudged to be a man who commands a sizable level of followership and respect, especially in some northern circles. This may not be unconnected with the successful implementation of an anti-corruption and undisciplined campaign during his military rule. Outside the shores of Nigeria, the story seems to be the same, as it is on record that he and Nelson Mandela were the only private African individuals invited by the White House to Barack Obama's inauguration ceremony. In 1995, he was appointed chairman of the Petroleum Trust Fund, PTF, by the Sani Abacha administration. And it is generally believed that he handled this excess oil revenue fund with transparency and efficiency. On the political scene, Buhari is certainly not a newcomer, as he first contested the presidential elections on the platform of the All Nigeria Parties Party, ANPP, in 2003 and also in 2007. For the April 2011 election, he contested as the presidential candidate of the Congress for Progressive Change, CPC, which he co-founded in 2010. Despite his failures in these elections, the retired general was not deterred, as he again contested for the fourth time under the umbrella of the All Progressive Congress, APC. Film was built around his image as a staunch anti-corruption fighter, and his honest reputation and his campaigns centered on security, unemployment, provision of good governance, economic recovery and infrastructure development, power and energy, agriculture, education, health, land and transport, women empowerment, and the Niger Delta. In spite of his authoritarian stance, the retired general has a soft side to him, which is replicated in his family. In 1971, Buhari married his first wife, Safinatu née Yusuf Buhari. They had 5 children together, 4 girls and 1 boy. The first daughter, Zulai, was named after Buhari's mother. He divorced his first wife in 1988 and in December 1989 married his second and current wife, Aisha née Halilu Buhari, who also had 5 children, a boy and 4 girls. They are Aisha, Halima, Yusuf, Zara and Amina. On 14 January 2006, the first wife, Safinatu Buhari, died from complications of diabetes. Retired Major General Buhari has various awards and medals to his name, including Congo Medal CM, Defense Service Medal DSM, Global Seal of Integrity GSOI, and the Grand Commander of the Federal Republic of Nigeria GCFR. With his emergence as the president, he has written his name in history as the first opposition candidate to defeat an incumbent in Africa's largest democracy. And with his antecedents of honesty and anti-corruption tactics, it is hoped that Nigeria will in no time toe the lines of development at all levels.
Welcome back. We're still with it, looking at some of the highlights during the inaugural speech of the president. And I want to talk about the depleted foreign reserve, falling oil prices, and the rest. He has said that we've talked about it, but we didn't elaborate. It wasn't more. We were not explicit on that, talking about the leakages here and there, trying to cut costs in government. Looking at it, we all know that there are cabals here and there. How is it going to work without this cabal?
No, what you just need is a president with a strong will, a president that is committed and passionate about moving his country forward. What you need is a commitment to make Nigeria work. And I think that as we talk, what is important is that our president has said that he will look at these issues. He will look at our refineries, he will look at the fuel subsidy regime, whether it has to continue or not. And he is more disposed to seeing that our refineries come back alive and meet local demands, and then this gamut of debate as to whether the subsidy regime is a fraud or not will be shaped. The truth is that as you and I talk, I believe that the new republic holds our stronghold. Hopes in terms of how accountable governance is to the people, transparency in terms of leadership, and I do believe that that will happen because obviously, toward the end of the last regime, Nigerians got troubled, deeply troubled about issues, about figures, strange figures. $20 billion, the story remains. $63 billion loan or debts, the story remains. issues about uncompleted projects, issues about subsidy scam, issues about the oil marketers holding government to ransom and the fuel scarcity, the plethora of several untoward issues and bordering information. And I think that as we talk, the duty on our president is tumultuous, it's monstrous. And what we must do is nudge him and help him succeed. And I say that advisedly because what he inherited, there's got to be a lot of cleansing. There's got to be a lot of investigations. There's got to be a lot of corrections. And what interestingly he has said is that he hasn't come to chase after people. He has come to govern. Let the judiciary and the security agencies and the investigative agencies handle issues about corruption, about these leakages. But that he will ensure that these things do not continue. It is no longer going to be business as usual. And I do sincerely believe that the republic where governance was a bazaar, or is a bazaar, has gone. And I think that Nigerians must realize that at this point, everybody must buckle their shoes and get ready to work.
Okay, I'm going away from the highlight. Just want us to look at the Niger Delta agitation about campaigning for scrapping of the amnesty. Do you think they should do that because you're familiar with these guys?
Where I'm from the Niger Delta.
Yes.
That issue touches deeply the carapace of my mind and bothers my soul. The president has said that the regime of amnesty as provided by the regulation or the proclamation expires in December, and that what he will do is ensure that effectively funds are poured in to ensuring that the second leg of the amnesty program is actualized. Because you know that amnesty wasn't just simply about training and sending Niger Delta people overseas to train. Unfortunately, that became the issue, leaving out the space, leaving out the territory and the terrain. And unfortunately, rather than talk about issues about oil spillage and recreating our space and ensuring that pollution is checked, amnesty just simply became dole out of funds and sending people overseas. And our president has said he will address that issue. And I think it's fundamentally important. We need to see more roads in the Niger Delta territory. We need to see the cleansing of our space. We need to see issues about how we end gas flaring and the likes. And I think that fundamentally, our president has said he will do the best he can do in that light. I believe that what is important now is for my brothers and sisters at home in the Niger Delta to understand that this country is our collective patrimony, and that our commitment to making Nigeria a great country is a national collective.
Okay, Peter, good morning to you. Yes, Peter. Peter, good morning to you. Okay, Peter, you can try us. We still have time for you. Then it's taking me also to looking at all what he has talked about and looking at what people are going through right now, the petrol wahala, we're always on the queue.
I think it's abating. I think the queues are thinning down by the day. I think it's getting better. I think that there's an understanding between the new.
But we cannot feel it really very well. You still have long queues.
No,
and some filling stations are still selling out.
I actually didn't have to talk to an owner or a friend who owns a filling station to get fuel yesterday. I was on the queue for just about 10 minutes.
Sorry, let me get to SAS. SAS, yes. Good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning to you.
Please, this is not that good for you. It's not the one that is telling you. But telling you first beginning because February we start with political promise to get something of food.
SAS, I don't allow people to talk to my guests this way.
No, I can't even tell what
I don't allow that. You can call back and refrain your words. Here on this show, what I tell people is watch your words, be careful, watch what you say. He's a guest on the show. I can understand how you're feeling, but you can put it in a better way. Let's put it will help. Yes.
I think that Nigerians have a right to their opinion.
No, not the way you put your choice of word matters.
I will not. I did that during the campaign. No, just I agree. I agree because it's your media. But I want to say that throughout the campaigns, if you read through everything I did, both on air, I will not insult anybody for any reason whatsoever. I will defeat you with logic, and I'll defeat you with facts. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. If it does affect people's sensibility, well, my apologies. But the truth is that the time has come to move Nigeria forward. The elections have gone.
Okay, let's just
go
forward.
The time has come. I'm from the Niger Delta. I love Jonathan, but I love Nigeria more. You know, so what is important is how we move this country forward.
Okay, let's just move on because of time. I want us to look at it. If you are close to the president, you sit side by side with the president, what are the three things you bring forward for him to start with? Three things.
Oh, fundamentally, the fulfillment of those three major promises that we made.
Okay.
We must treat it as a matter of primacy. National security, anti-corruption.
How will you handle it? Not just telling him, how do you think you should handle it?
If I were president, an office for which I ran in 2011, I'll do these three things this way. First, national security started well. Rejig the armed forces, rearm them, and ensure that patriotism and commitment to service becomes prime, trite, and right. That's point number one. Number two, job creation. Retrain, like the APC manifesto has said, retrain our graduates, make people get skill acquisition centers, develop our agricultural system and network, and ensure that people see the beauty in farming, like the United States of America and the likes. And people will go to farms, will be able to produce food for consumption and for export. That will create jobs. Then, with matters of which, of course, is burdened Nigeria sizably, anti-corruption, ensure that you take an executive bill to the National Assembly where you will create anti-corruption courts. Instead of going through these long processes of people come to court, they take adjournment, and an anti-corruption case takes for 5 years, 6 years, 10 years, and almost bores the Nigerian people. What you do is create special courts that will deal with corruption, so that in 4 or 5 months, people who have stolen are convicted, or perhaps they return the resources that they have stolen. I do want to say here that
part of the problem.
The judiciary will be rejigged. He did say that he will overhaul the judiciary. And I want to say here that my late dad taught me something. He said that to move any society forward, you must make monuments of reference and monuments of deterrence. Nigerians must learn that corruption does not pay. Nigerians must learn to work together as a people. And I want to tell you, Vera, that our national orientation paradigm must be rejigged. The truth is that Nigeria must stop giving national honors as freebies. Okay. You see people who are corrupt, who have stolen resources, and every year they get MON, CFR, they get all kinds of national honors. Nigeria must stop to do that. Nigeria must begin to give national honors to those who are deserving of it. Those who are patriotic and those whose orientation and philosophy is service to the people. Once that is done, we shall have begun the march to the new republic that we wish. Once that is done, the change that we're talking about will deepen and be sedimented. I believe, Vera, that this country will work.
What kind of
I believe that we can make Nigeria
work. What kind
work.
of team do you want to see now?
Square pegs and square holes and round holes, round pegs and round holes. I believe that it is possible. Nigeria is not suffering a dearth of good men. We have a plethora of men who care about our country. And I think that what is fundamentally important is the passion of those that must run Nigeria. Our president must look for the best minds, the best hands, and those who are passionate about country. Because at this point, to move Nigeria forward, it just must be country first. Not about individuals, not about supermen, not about party leaders, but about those who truly care about this country. And I do sincerely believe that if our president does fix square pegs and square holes, and round pegs and round holes, we shall begin the journey.
But some people also are alleging, they're complaining about the kind of people he's surrounded with, people that put him in power.
Politicians are not saints. And Vera, there are no humans that are saints. Vera, if you shake anybody up and down, you will find that. The truth is that we must, at the level that we find ourselves, we must choose the best of the pack. And I don't want to say that anybody is the best of the pack. Our president should get down to work and then look for the best men who truly are passionate about country. If you love your country, you will not steal resources that are meant for the development of your nation. If you love your country, you care about the Nigerian people. If you love your country, you care about moving this country forward. And those who truly love Nigeria must be put in as ministers, as aides to the president, and drive the Nigerian vehicle forward. A highly progressive world is watching us there, and they want to know, they want to see what will make of this moment of change.
Yes.
The truth is that the goodwill that this regime enjoys is monumental. The truth is that the God who created our planet and brought our boisterous planet out of primal vapor is with us. The truth is that the Nigerian people are expectant. The truth is that change resonates. And the truth is that we must make this regime responsible and
what
responsive to the people.
What time frame do you think Nigerians should give to the president? Looking at what what we have in the country right now, what time frame should we begin to see changes at least?
Nigerians are wonderful people, and they understand that once they
but
see...
Nigerians cannot wait.
No. Nigerians cannot wait. Does not mean that their governance is a microwave. You chuck it in and chuck it out. No, that's not what it is. Nigerians are willing to watch Mr. President do the best he can. Nigerians are willing to accept the best team as his ministers. Nigerians are willing to understand that once governance takes steps that are reasonable and profound to moving this country forward, they will of course appreciate him. What I do sincerely want to say is that until such a time when profoundly every true reasonable man will say, oh, governance, we'll see fundamental improvement in 100 days, we'll see wonderful improvement in 200 days, but the truth is that it is not 100 meters. It is not 100 meters down.
To look at, but we have a caller here, John. Yes.
My big sister, aloe vera. I'm with you once again.
Yes.
I do not get there. You see, Nigeria, you cannot be calling me that they are patient or more. It is because they have no right and they have no say in their country. It is because let me call them the elite. With whatever they decide, wherever they push the people to, they go. Even though the new coming government, now, whether good or bad, is wherever whatever they decide, is where Nigeria will follow them to. If it's good.
Okay, John, but I don't agree with you, yes. Okay, you're still on.
That is the problem we are having here in Nigeria. It's not like Europe and America, where the citizens, the public, have rights. If they demand anything from the government, so be it. The government will adapt to it. But here, it's their interest that decide the movement of the nation. That is it. Thank you. All those ones they are telling us is just preaching. This one is the problem. This one is this one is that.
Thank you, John, for calling. Yes.
To be problem-oriented is not the way forward. To always see what is wrong and never see the solution is not a problem. I pray for John and I wish him well. But the truth is that the black man is a great species. The Nigerian man is an awesome species. And once we get leadership right, we'll move to the top of the world.
So what should be our role as citizens?
Let me say this passionately. I am so effusively convinced that our people are the greatest people on planet Earth. I am so passionately convinced that Nigeria is a nation of great people, and I know that the fewer and the lesser we think about our problems in the negative and see them as challenges to greatness, we will continue to, our search for the good republic will be like a search for Godot. So the time has come for us to begin to think right, think positive, and believe that across the length and breadth of this country we have people who truly care and love our country. I want to pass this message to my brothers who are saying that the time for the Niger Delta and myself to work on Biafra has come. I want to tell them that it is wrong. I want to tell them that the Bible, the holy book that the South, most of the people in the South believe in, says that the cord of two is strong, is not easily broken. The cord of three who can break. Nigeria is stronger than the sentiments of individuals. Nigeria is a country created by God for progress. Every nation that is a cord of three Vera has never been broken.
What should be our
they
role
have
as
seen, please let me, please. This is good for our country. I'm closing with it. This is good for our country. Nigeria is a cord of three. Every nation that's a cord of three has not been broken by not even war. America is a cord of three. They fought a war. They survived it. Australia is a cord of three. They've gone through their contradictions. They've survived it. South Africa is a cord of three. They've gone through their contradictions. They've survived it. Nigeria will survive these contradictions. So those who are saying that Nigeria can break are just dreaming.
So we should be
the truth is that this country will move forward. And for those who care to support the movement of change that we have in this country. What we need above all is a breather for the president and prayers. I believe that this country can move forward.
Okay, what should be our role? We need to educate the people.
We must do that which is expected of us by the law. To be law-abiding, to play our role in terms of civil respect for pay your tax, do what the law expects you to do, and then eventually nudge government. I've always said repeatedly that the way to go is for the people to realize that rather than just criticize, when we continue to play our role and nudge government, make government restless about the promises they have made. When we make them restless, when we make them deliver upon the promises that they have made, Nigeria will be a better place.
Will you react if all this expectation comes and you're not seeing it, all what we expected, and we don't see it? What will be your reaction?
Well, my loyalty has been primarily to the Nigerian people. My loyalty is primarily to the green, white, green. My loyalty is to the Nigerian enterprise, and I believe that people like us, whether we are inside or out of government, will continue to nudge government to do what is proper, right, and right. Together with the president, we can make Nigeria a great country. I believe that if we commit ourselves patriotically to the Nigerian challenge, we can remove this country away from the jangling discord of poverty, disease, despondency, and want to the amazing place of promise.
I want to thank you for coming on this station. It's interesting having you on our program this morning.
Thank you so much,
Professor Chris Nwaokobia, for coming. Well, viewers at home, you've heard it all. We'll go on a break. And when we come back, we want to still look at it, way forward, looking at the agenda, looking at how we can also be part of this government. We have a guest standby. We'll be back soon. Stay with us.